Conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call, but that's Andrew's call.
The moment that blasted across every social media feed didn't just catch people's attention. It exposed exactly what's really going on inside the Cleveland Browns building. Andrew Berry, the general manager who took nonstop heat for drafting Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, finally got the kind of payoff NFL executives dream about, and the cameras caught every second of it. Right after Shedeur's historic debut win, Berry didn't act like a distant executive or some stiff suit doing his job. He walked straight toward his rookie quarterback with purpose, almost like he'd been waiting months for this exact moment to unfold. And when he reached him, what happened next had fans, journalists, and even rival teams talking.
It was really, really good. Proud of you.
Cool.
Really, really nice job.
You're not fully proud.
This wasn't a basic handshake or a polite good job out there. This was raw emotion, real human pride bursting through a man who usually keeps everything controlled and professional. Berry leaned in with a huge smile and asked, "How does it feel, bro?" And Shedeur's response hit the perfect tone. "We got a lot to improve on, man, but made some tackles today. Yeah, saved more than I gave up." That line went everywhere because it felt so real, calm, humble, confident, and honest enough to show he understood the moment without drowning in the spotlight. And Berry's reaction said even more. His face lit up like he'd just watched a weight lift off his shoulders, and you could literally hear excitement mixed with relief in his voice. You don't see GMs react like that unless something huge just shifted inside the franchise. That's why the clip went viral. It wasn't staged, it wasn't polished, it wasn't PR. It was genuine connection between a GM and the quarterback he believed in when a lot of people didn't. To understand why the world couldn't stop replaying that moment, you have to understand the pressure Andrew Berry was under from the start. He was the GM who took the controversial swing on Shedeur when so many teams refused to even consider him. Media members mocked the pick with jokes and fake sympathy. Analysts acted like Berry had made a reckless gamble. Some insiders said Shedeur didn't belong anywhere near a starting conversation, let alone a roster spot. And inside the building, it wasn't quiet either. Berry had to maneuver around different voices, different agendas, and different quarterback agendas that were pulling in opposite directions. Some coaches had their own favorites, some scouts pushed other guys, some people whispered that Shedeur wasn't ready. But through all that noise, Berry stayed locked in on one player, Shedeur Sanders. He believed in the arm talent, the poise, the maturity, the fire, and the ability to rise in big moments. And behind closed doors, he fought for him harder than most fans will ever know. He didn't bend to outside pressure, he didn't jump to safer options, and he didn't let anyone shake his conviction. That's what made the moment after the game hit so hard, because once Shedeur finally stepped on that field, once he settled in, once he started throwing darts, making plays, and showing he belonged, every single thing Berry believed in came alive right in front of millions. It didn't just look like a good pick, it looked like the beginning of a franchise-changing story, and the entire world saw Berry's face when it finally clicked. This is the guy. That's why this clip didn't just go viral. It became the unofficial announcement of a new era in Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders just became the first Browns rookie quarterback to win his debut start in 30 years, and he did it like someone who refused to blink under pressure. He walked onto that field and instantly looked like he belonged, throwing for over 200 yards, escaping pressure that should have swallowed him, firing tough passes into tight windows, and carrying himself with the type of poise that veterans spend years trying to develop. And because of that performance, Andrew Berry finally got his well-earned victory lap, standing right next to the quarterback he bet his entire reputation on. You could tell this was his silent "I told you so" moment, without him needing to say a single word. Every GM dreams of drafting a young quarterback who proves them right in real time, and Berry got to live that dream with millions watching. The fans didn't just witness it, they felt it. That's why the clip exploded across Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. It didn't feel scripted, it didn't feel forced, and it didn't feel like PR. It felt like authentic emotion in a league where everything usually looks rehearsed and robotic. Berry's body language was loud, his smile was genuine, and the way he leaned in towards Shedeur told the whole story without a single microphone needed. The celebration between the two looked like something deeper, like they had survived months of noise, criticism, and doubt together, and now they were standing in the middle of a storm they just turned into a statement. Fans caught that instantly. You don't usually see a GM and a rookie quarterback look that connected, that relieved, and that proud in one single moment. But then came the twist, the part that made the entire situation even louder and sent fans into a frenzy. Despite everything Shedeur just accomplished, breaking a 3-decade curse, snapping a 17-game losing streak, delivering over 200 yards, keeping the offense alive, and looking like he'd been doing this for years, he did not get the game ball. Hard to even wrap your head around it, but it happened. The quarterback who rewrote a dark chapter in franchise history. The quarterback who did what 17 rookie Browns quarterbacks before him couldn't do. The quarterback who gave fans hope they haven't felt in years, somehow walked out without the game's most symbolic honor. It left fans stunned, it sparked debate, and it lit up social media all over again.
Special teams getting penalties, but I thought by and large operation was good. And I have to credit, it's nice having a veteran center when you have rookie quarterbacks playing in there.
Because how does a rookie walk into the fire, drag the team to a win, snap a historic curse, make plays under pressure, control the game with poise, and then not get the game ball? That moment told everyone something deep is going on inside Cleveland, and people can't stop talking about it. The moment that should have been remembered forever by the entire fan base came with a twist nobody expected. Shedeur Sanders, the rookie who ended a 30-year drought and snapped a brutal 17-game losing streak, somehow did not get the game ball. Instead, it went to Myles Garrett, who tore through the Raiders' offense with 3 monster sacks and reminded everyone why he's one of the best defensive players in the entire league. And let's be real, Myles absolutely earned his flowers. 3 sacks in a single game is serious business, and he's been one of the few steady, dominant forces during Cleveland's ugliest stretches. The defense as a whole went wild, stacking 10 total sacks and shutting down the Raiders like someone slammed a steel vault shut. Garrett's dominance mattered, and nobody with common sense is trying to downplay the impact he had on that win. But here's where fans started heating up, and it got loud fast. This game wasn't going into the history books because of defense, even though the defense balled out. It became historic because of Shedeur Sanders and what he pulled off in his first NFL start. Ending a 3-decade rookie debut curse isn't some cute footnote. It was the headline of the entire night. This was the kind of moment people will talk about years from now when they look back at Shedeur's career and say, that's where it started. That's why the coaching staff choosing not to give him the game ball felt like a major miss at best, and something that looked way more intentional at worst. People on the outside might think the game ball is just a locker room souvenir, something small, something symbolic. But inside an NFL building, it matters a lot. It's a sign of respect. It's a message about who the team chooses to highlight and what the organization values most. Coaches don't hand out game balls randomly. They hand them out to make a statement. So when a rookie quarterback does something no Browns rookie has done in 30 years, carries the offense, handles pressure like a veteran, shows poise nobody expected, and then still doesn't get the game ball, it sends a message even if nobody meant it that way. And fans picked up on that message instantly. Social media erupted because people saw what happened and felt like Shedeur was being overlooked or even disrespected. The comments exploded, the clips spread everywhere, and fans started breaking down the moment frame by frame like detectives trying to solve something deeper. They didn't see a simple oversight. They saw a pattern forming, and the reaction shows how much this moment meant to Cleveland. Whether the coaching staff realizes it or not, that decision added a whole new layer to the story, and people are watching closely. Myles Garrett's post-game comments proved exactly why he's respected as one of the true professionals in the league. He didn't make the night about himself, even after putting up a performance most players only dream about. He talked about watching his teammates get after the quarterback, seeing everyone feast, and mentioned that breaking the franchise sack record was something he already expected from himself, like it was just part of the job. That single line told the whole story about Garrett. For him, this wasn't a once-in-a-lifetime moment. It was another dominant night in a career full of them. But for Shedeur Sanders, this wasn't routine. This was a career-shifting explosion, a night that stamped the beginning of something real, not just for him, but for the entire Cleveland Browns franchise. That's exactly why the moment between Deion Sanders and Shedeur after the game hit people straight in the chest.
Can we back everybody up, please? Thank you. We're about to put up the locker room. He's got to come back. No, I know. He's going to locker room.
Beautiful.
Locker room.
Deion was waiting in the tunnel, and the second Shedeur walked toward him, the whole energy changed. You could feel the pride, the relief, the emotional weight in their faces as they locked eyes. It wasn't just a father watching his son succeed. It was a father watching his son prove every critic wrong in real time. Security literally had to push people back to give them space because everyone wanted to witness that moment, and nobody tried to interrupt it. There was nothing but respect flowing in that tunnel as they hugged it out. It was one of those moments where the noise, the doubt, the pressure, the chaos, all of it faded, and what you saw was pure triumph. Then Shedeur dropped the comments that sent shockwaves through the entire league. He said, one week of practice. You know what I mean? This win is crazy. It's amazing. You know, off 1 week of practice. You know what I mean? So imagine what a full off-season looked like. It get dangerous. Those words weren't hype. They weren't empty bravado. They weren't a young player talking just to talk. They were explosive because he told the truth in the calmest, smoothest way possible. Without pointing fingers, without calling anyone out, without disrespecting a single person. Think about what he really revealed. This rookie walked into his first NFL start, threw for over 200 yards, handled pressure like a seasoned vet, kept his poise when the pocket collapsed, made tough throws, and snapped a 30-year curse with only 1 week of first-team reps. That sentence exposed more about Cleveland's quarterback situation than any insider report could. It showed how delayed the decision was. It showed how long he'd been sidelined from full preparation. And it showed just how dangerous he can become when he actually gets the proper time to build chemistry with the starters. Shedeur didn't need to rant or complain. He let the performance do the talking, then added a quiet warning to the rest of the league, and everyone heard it loud and clear. Shedeur Sanders wasn't the starter during camp. He didn't get full preparation, and he didn't get the offense tailored to him. He was basically dropped into the fire with barely any time to breathe, and he still delivered like a seasoned vet who'd been running the show all year. That alone tells you how dangerous he really is. So imagine what happens when he finally gets a full offseason built around his strengths. Imagine him getting months instead of days to build timing with every receiver. Imagine him studying the system with real preparation, real reps, and real control of the offense. When he said it get dangerous, he wasn't exaggerating. He was telling the truth in the calmest way possible. That line was Shedeur's way of saying, without blaming anyone directly, that the Browns might have wasted valuable time by not giving him this chance sooner. If he can dominate off 1 week of real practice, then what does he look like with a full plan, a real ramp-up, and a system crafted around him? How many games could Cleveland have won earlier? How different could this entire season look if he had been QB1 from the moment camp opened? These are the questions now landing directly on Kevin Stefanski's desk, and they aren't going away anytime soon. Fans want answers. Analysts want answers. Even former players are asking why Shedeur wasn't getting first-team reps if he clearly had this level of talent waiting to break out. Now people are wondering if loyalty to old plans, old decisions, or internal politics kept the obvious move from happening sooner. And after watching Shedeur stroll in with almost no preparation and still put on a historic show, the questions surrounding the coaching staff have gotten even louder and sharper. His performance didn't calm the debate. It turned the volume all the way up. Meanwhile, Andrew Berry standing inside the Browns building just went through the roof. Anyone whispering about his job security or doubting his talent evaluation looks bold wrong right now. Shedeur answered every one of those doubts with straight-up fireworks. Berry identified Shedeur as a fifth-round steal when other teams kept passing on him like he wasn't even worth a second look. Berry pushed to get him on the roster, backed him in meetings, defended him behind closed doors, and believed he deserved a real chance to shine. And now the quarterback he trusted stepped onto the biggest stage, made history, and proved he absolutely belongs at this level. This wasn't luck. This was a GM betting on talent and vision, and winning in front of the entire league. That's exactly what a real general manager is supposed to do. Spot overlooked talent and put that talent in position to shine. And right now, the difference between Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski is starting to look massive. Berry looks like the smartest man in the entire building for drafting Shedeur Sanders, while Stefanski is catching heat for waiting this long to put him on the field and then refusing to hand him the game ball after one of the most historic rookie debuts in Browns history. If Cleveland had lost this game, the pressure on Stefanski would have been brutal. Like job-shaking brutal. But even with the win, fans aren't ignoring the concerns anymore. Questions about his decision-making are louder than ever, and people are wondering if he's really getting everything he can out of this roster. That somebody called me Junior line Shedeur mentioned during his talk with Berry said way more than people realize. It showed how quickly the comparisons come the moment he steps on the field. And when your father is Deion Sanders, those comparisons come with weight, expectations, and non-stop pressure. But Shedeur doesn't run from that spotlight. He embraces it. He carries the name with pride, uses it as motivation, and plays in a way that honors his father's legacy while building his own path in real time. His support system is one of his biggest strengths, and you can see how much it matters for a young quarterback trying to grow into a franchise leader. He has a father who has been at the highest level of professional sports for decades and knows exactly how to guide him through the chaos. He has Andrew Berry, the GM, who believed in him when most teams ignored him and fought to bring him to Cleveland. He has veterans like Myles Garrett, guys who've seen everything and can help him navigate the spotlight, the pressure, and the expectations that come with being an NFL starter. And on top of all that, he has a fan base absolutely starving for quarterback stability. A fan base ready to ride with him, protect him, support him, and watch him grow into the leader they've been waiting for. That's why the game ball situation exploded the way it did. Social media's reaction has been overwhelmingly on Shedeur's side. Fans are frustrated, and they're not hiding it at all. Former players are calling the decision strange and unnecessary, while analysts are openly questioning what the coaching staff is thinking. People want to know if this moment reveals something bigger, a disconnect, a hesitation, or a gap between the coaching staff and the quarterback who just changed the trajectory of the franchise. And the debate hasn't slowed down, not for 1 second. It keeps building, keeps growing, keeps pulling more eyes into the conversation. Every interview, every highlight, every sideline clip gets dissected like it's part of a bigger storyline. Right now, Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing football. He's shifting the entire conversation around the Cleveland Browns, and the whole world is watching. The awkward situation Cleveland is dealing with right now could have been avoided completely if the coaching staff had simply handed Shedeur Sanders the game ball and let the moment shine the way it deserved to. Instead, the choice created confusion, debates, and frustration that never needed to happen. At the same time, Myles Garrett mentioning that he felt like he had Andrew watching over me today was a powerful emotional tribute to a fallen teammate, and nobody should take anything away from that moment.
In regards to Shedeur and Theon's not going to interfere. He's not going to be calling the coach. He's not going to be commenting about Shedeur while he's in Colorado. Lou, I think there's a lot of just fake news out.
Honoring the memory of someone you played beside is one of the purest parts of sports, and Myles deserved every bit of respect for acknowledging that connection with such heart. But even with that tribute, it doesn't erase the reality that Shedeur's historic achievement deserved recognition too. Both things could have been honored on the same night without stepping on each other, and fans know that. The real tension now comes from what Cleveland does next and how they handle the quarterback situation from here on out. Do they stay with Shedeur as the starter for the rest of the season? Do they switch back once the injured quarterback returns? It's hard to argue against sticking with Shedeur when the energy he brought to the team, paired with his actual production, was so undeniable. He didn't look lucky, he looked ready. But sometimes teams cling to old decisions even when the new one is clearly better, and that's exactly where Shedeur's "imagine a full offseason" comment hit even harder. When he said, "Imagine what a full offseason looked like, it'd get dangerous," he didn't just hype himself up. He warned the organization what would happen if they ignore what's right in front of them. That line is going to follow the Browns everywhere if they try to pull back now. Shedeur basically told the franchise and the entire league, "If I did this with 1 week of real reps, imagine what I become when y'all fully commit to me." That's not arrogance. That's honesty backed by production. And then there's the viral moment between Andrew Berry and Shedeur Sanders, which showed just how badly people still want to believe in the Cleveland Browns. Even after decades of heartbreak, chaos, letdowns, and being the punchline of endless jokes, fans still want this franchise to finally get it right. Seeing the GM and the young quarterback share such a real human celebration made people feel something they haven't felt in a long time. Hope. It made the country stop and say, maybe this time is different. That moment didn't feel manufactured. It felt like two people fighting through the same storm and finally reaching fresh air at the same time. And then there was Shedeur's emotional intelligence in his post-game comments, which was unreal for someone at this stage of his career. He praised his teammates, thanked his coaches, acknowledged the work still ahead, and stayed humble the whole way through. He didn't get caught up in the hype, he didn't attack anyone, and he didn't act like he was owed anything. But he still made it clear he deserves more opportunity and more reps. That's extremely hard for any player to balance, and the fact that he handled it with maturity and clarity shows he understands exactly how to carry the spotlight without letting it blow up the locker room. Now the pressure on Cleveland's coaching staff to keep giving Shedeur opportunities is off the charts. The fans want it, the media is pushing for it, the general manager clearly supports it, and most importantly, Shedeur just proved he can walk into the biggest moment of his life and thrive like he's been doing this for years. If Kevin Stefanski tries to go back to the old quarterback depth chart after everything the world just watched, the backlash from Browns fans will be massive. This isn't a maybe, this is guaranteed. Fans have waited too long for a quarterback who looks like a real future leader, and they're not letting this opportunity slip away without a fight. Shedeur Sanders changed the energy of the entire franchise in one night, and now Cleveland has to decide if they're finally ready to roll with the guy who just shifted their whole future. So this is where everything stands right now, and it's wild to even say it out loud. Andrew Berry just had his full-blown vindication moment with the quarterback he fought hard to draft, and the rookie he believed in, Shedeur Sanders, just made history in front of the entire football world. Yet somehow, even after snapping a 30-year curse and carrying the offense, Shedeur didn't get the game ball, and that's what sent this whole situation into overdrive. Instead of a calm celebration, the end of this game turned into a nationwide argument about what Cleveland should do next. Analysts, former players, and fans across every platform are all chiming in because the fifth-round pick people doubted just showed he might be the quarterback the Browns have been searching for through decades of confusion, resets, heartbreak, and non-stop quarterback turnover. Right now, everyone wants to talk about Andrew Berry's emotional moment with Shedeur after that historic win. The way Berry's face lit up, the way Shedeur stayed humble, the way it felt like two people proving an entire league wrong at the same time. That moment hit fans right in the chest. It looked like the start of something real. And the question that's blowing up the internet is simple. Was it wrong that Shedeur didn't get the game ball after everything he just did? Fans are calling it questionable, analysts are calling it confusing, and even former players are wondering how the rookie who flipped the entire franchise energy didn't get the symbolic recognition he earned. Then comes the biggest debate of all. Should the Browns make Shedeur the permanent starter after what he showed? Because after watching him walk into chaos, take over the offense, handle pressure like a veteran, and look like he's been waiting for this moment his whole life, it's getting harder and harder for anyone to argue against him staying QB1. And that final quote he dropped, 1 week of practice, imagine a full off season. It'd get dangerous. That comment might go down as one of the most important lines of the Browns season. It wasn't arrogance, it was truth. And the whole league felt it. Now the real question lands on you. What do you think? What happened in Cleveland wasn't just a rookie debut. It was the start of a storm the whole league felt. 1 fifth-round pick, 1 week of real practice, 1 historic performance, and suddenly the Browns are sitting in the middle of one of the most emotional, chaotic, and powerful quarterback debates they've had in decades. Shedeur Sanders didn't just step on that field. He shifted the temperature of an entire franchise. His poise, his maturity, his fire, the way he handled pressure like it didn't even touch him, all of it made people stop and realize Cleveland might have finally found the quarterback they've been searching for across 30 years of heartbreak. And the energy he brought didn't feel temporary. It felt like the beginning of something dangerous in the best way possible. Andrew Berry's emotional moment in that tunnel said everything the box score couldn't. That wasn't a GM celebrating a lucky win. That was a man watching the quarterback he fought for prove him right in real time. That smile, that relief, that sense of finally. It hit fans deeper than any stat line ever could. And the clip didn't go viral by accident. It went viral because people saw truth in it. Meanwhile, the pressure on Kevin Stefanski is sitting at a level that can't be ignored anymore. You can't watch a rookie walk into chaos, flip the script, snap a 30-year curse, and then pretend the depth chart is the same as before. Not after what the world just witnessed. Not after Shedeur made history with barely any preparation and then said the line that shook the entire league, imagine a full offseason. It'd get dangerous. Whether Cleveland wants to admit it or not, that moment didn't just close a chapter. It opened a new one. The fan base feels it. The locker room feels it. Even rival teams feel it. What happens next could shape the future of this franchise for years, and now the Browns have a choice. Follow the spark they saw tonight, or risk losing the most natural momentum they've had in decades. One rookie changed everything, and this story is far from over. If you want more raw breakdowns, insider-level drama, and the real truth behind the biggest moments in football, don't miss what's coming next. Stay locked in with Huddle Files, and you already know, we'll have every second of it broken down, every twist, every leak, every hidden play behind the headlines. So like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share it out. Stay locked in with Huddle Files, where the real NFL stories live.